The countdown to Doomsday is on. Well, Avengers Doomsday. And we may be getting our first glimpse of it sooner than you actually may think. Robert Downey Jr. returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Dr. Doom has sent shockwaves through fans, but what's most intriguing is how this version of the character is being described. And with the first Avengers Doomsday trailer rumored to drop in front of Avatar: Fire and Ash later this year, I'm gonna tell you why the early indications are that we'll see a version of Doom that we've never seen on screen before, and one that we never saw coming. Now, multiple outlets claim they have sources who've seen at least a rough cut of the trailer, and the biggest standout universally is Doom specifically. Marvel's portraying Doom reportedly not just as a villain, but as a figure out of a classic horror film that is a monster who must keep his suit on and his mask on at all times. It's a striking and unsettling image. It transforms Doom from a power-hungry ruler into something tragic and terrifying, a creature of science and sorcery trapped inside a prison of metal. And if that rumor is true, it could make Downey's portrayal one of the most fascinating character reinventions in modern cinema. Dr. Doom has always carried elements of gothic horror. In the comics, Victor Von Doom is a man of unmatched intellect, scarred by both his past and his pride. He's part sorcerer, part scientist, all arrogance, all pain. But what if the MCU pushes him even further? What if his body is so damaged, so distorted that he can't even exist without the armor in the first place? That makes him larger than life and entering total mythology. The idea that the mask isn't just for intimidation, but actually for survival instead, turns him into something closer to Frankenstein's monster or the Phantom of the Opera. It's a tragic figure defined by what he hides. And this rumor paints a picture of Doom as someone who is both unstoppable and also deeply cursed. His very presence becomes haunting, and this approach draws natural comparisons to another towering figure in pop culture that we're all familiar with here, Darth Vader. The parallels are obvious. A genius who sought power beyond human limits, burned and broken by his own ambition or the world that's left him behind, now surviving inside a mechanical shell. Vader's mask was not only a symbol of evil, but a symbol of loss as well. The sound of his breathing reminded audiences that beneath the armor was a man who had been mutilated as a result of his choices. If Doom follows a similar path, the mask becomes not a disguise, but instead a wound. It's a scar that speaks louder than any words can. Now, Downey is known for his expressive face and quick wit, so he'd have to rely instead on his voice, on his posture, and on his presence. That challenge could make the role all the more haunting. The comparison to Vader goes deeper than the mask, though. See, I've always looked at the Skywalker saga as a Greek tragedy about Anakin Skywalker, especially in the prequels. And there's an opportunity to tell a similar but effective story here. Both characters are tragic products of their own brilliance. Both are sustained by machines. Both are haunted by the person that they used to be, and both inspire fear through the coldness of their presence. The real power in portraying Doom this way lies in that tragedy. He's not evil just for the sake of it. He's a man who cannot escape himself. And when done right, horror isn't about monsters chasing people. It's about people becoming monsters. Doom embodies that entirely. And just like Vader, the key will be restraint and it will be atmosphere. The less you see of Doom's vulnerability, the more you start to feel it. The less he speaks, the more you hang on every word. And when he finally acts, it really means something. When he finally shows emotion, it shatters you. That's how you turn a villain into a legend of the screen. And that's how a mask becomes an icon. The mask itself becomes everything. That's what makes characters like Vader or even Michael Myers so terrifying. It's the unknown. You can't read them. You can't empathize with them through expression alone. You only project your own fear into their stillness. A masked Doom who never removes his armor would function the very same way. Every movement would feel deliberate, every word amplified. You're waiting for the payoff of when you finally see the man in the flesh, and that could be the long game here. That kind of presentation changes the tone of the entire film. It introduces horror into the superhero space in a way that the MCU has really only flirted with. I mean, we've seen a glimpse of Doom in costume at the end of Fantastic Four: First Steps, but we haven't fully entrenched ourselves with it. The idea of Doctor Doom as something not entirely alive, perhaps barely even human, turns him into a living ghost. Downey's casting plays a huge role in why all this concept works in the first place. Audiences have spent over a decade associating him with Tony Stark, perhaps even 2 decades. A man defined by technology and ego, but ultimately human and relatable. To then flip that image to him into a distorted mirror of Stark would be a really smart move that could also be the perfect artistic challenge for Downey Jr., one that would allow him to build on his legacy as an actor. Now, Downey's charm comes from his humanity, his ability to make even genius-level characters feel actually grounded. Stripping that away and forcing him to convey emotion through armor and a mask creates a totally new kind of performance. The mask, the voice, they become tools. The stillness becomes the power. It's kind of a transformation that can redefine how audiences see him in the first place. You don't watch Robert Downey Jr. in the role anymore, you watch Dr. Doom. That's the same trick that made James Earl Jones' voice and David Prowse's movements combine into the myth of Darth Vader. The actor disappears and the legend takes over entirely. Thematically, making Doom a horror figure fits perfectly with his mythology. He's a man obsessed with mastery over science, magic, and destiny itself. He seeks perfection and control, but that obsession consumes him. In the end, the thing he tries to conquer is what ultimately imprisons him. That's the essence of gothic horror. The same arrogance that gave birth to Frankenstein's monster, Dr. Jekyll's transformation, is what fuels Doom. The armor isn't just physical protection, it's the symbol of his hubris made flesh, or rather, metal. Every clang of the suit, every whir of the machinery is the sound of his own curse that's following him. It's rumored that his wearing the suit could be a result of his world being destroyed, and now he has to wear that memory with him everywhere. From a storytelling standpoint, this version of Doom could also redefine how power is portrayed in the MCU. He's a ruler who terrifies not because of what he can do, but because of what he is. His very existence makes others uncomfortable. The armor becomes the manifestation of his willpower and his pain. It's a constant visual metaphor, intellect turned inward until it devours the soul. And that's a villain that audiences remember. And there's a beautiful irony in the idea that Downey, who once played the face of Marvel's heroism, could now embody its darkest reflection. Tony Stark's armor was always about expression and innovation, bright, sleek, responsive, open to evolution. Doom's armor, on the other hand, is heavy, it's rigid, it's suffocating. The same actor who made audiences laugh and cheer could now make them tremble. And that duality is exactly what Marvel needs right now, and it also gives them a chance to differentiate him from the comics a little bit as well. If Marvel leans into that, they can make Downey's Doom one of the most complex antagonists that the franchise has ever had. The mask, the armor, the horror, all of it becomes a means of exploring identity and consequence. What happens when a man so brilliant, so determined to control his destiny, ends up creating a version of himself that he can no longer live without? What does it mean to be trapped inside your own creation? These questions aren't just compelling, they are deeply human, even when wrapped in twisted metal. The presentation of Doom as a horror figure could also help restore a sense of gravity to the MCU. You see, Doomsday and Secret Wars are 2 of the most significant comic book movies ever. The goodwill that Marvel's battled to retain in recent years very much hangs in the balance with the success and reception to these 2 movies. And the franchise has often leaned on humor and lightness, but a character like Doom demands awe and he demands unease. If he's treated with that old universal monster reverence, a mix of dread and elegance and tragedy all wrapped in one, then every scene with him can carry that cinematic weight that the MCU has badly been missing. The combination of Downey's charisma, the gothic tone, and the horror-inspired design could bring back that sense of mystery and that sense of danger. Dr. Doom, portrayed as a monster who must keep his suit on to survive, is more than stylistic. It can show how genius can actually curdle into obsession and how control can become confinement. It's the story of a man who built his own nightmare and must live inside of it forever. And in the hands of Robert Downey Jr., it's the perfect evolution of his Marvel legacy. From the man who made the suit to the man who became trapped in it. From hero to horror. From Iron Man to Doom. The circle completes itself. And if Marvel truly commits to that vision, one of a Victor Von Doom entrenched in tragedy, it has the potential to create something unforgettable. A villain who stands shoulder to shoulder with the greats, not because of his powers, but because of what he actually represents. is all symbol of a man who sought to be a god and became something far worse. The kind of character who doesn't just fight heroes but haunts them. The kind of villain who stays with you long after the credits roll. That's how you make Doctor Doom not just another entry in the MCU, but a legend in his own right. And if that ends up being the case, then man, I can't wait for Doomsday.